In part 4, we're going to cover tener with the dot past. Now, as I mentioned, we only use the dot past in very specific circumstances. Only when it's very clearly a dot in the past that we're talking about will we go into the dot past with this verb. Otherwise, you just use the line past. So, for example, let's try to make this clear. Normally, to say I had it, we know would be lo tenía. But if we were to express something like I had it at 2 o'clock, now here clearly we have a dot in the past, and we use the tense that we're about to go through now to express that. So once again, for I had it would normally be lo tenía, just I had it, general, right? But if it was something very specific, a specific point in time, a dot, for example, I had it at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock makes it very clearly a dot in the past. That is the specific kind of circumstance where we would use the dot past with this verb. So let's go through now how we would form it. To express I had as a dot in the past would be tuve. You can think of like the English word tube, but as we know, in Spanish, this V takes a very strong B sound in English. So we have tuve. Tuve is I had when it's a dot in the past. How would you say I had it? Lo tuve. I had it at 2 o'clock. Lo tuve a las dos. To say he, she, or it had when it's a dot, that would be tuvo. So instead of ending in an E, it ends in an O. So we have tuvo, tuvo. How would you say he had it? Lo tuvo. He had it for me. Lo tuvo para mí. She didn't have it for me. No lo tuvo para mí. Once more, how would you say I had when it's a dot in the past? Tuve. To express you had as a dot in the past, it would be tuviste. Tuviste. How would you say you had it? Lo tuviste. You didn't have it. No lo tuviste. For we had, it would be tuvimos. We have 3 syllables. Tuvimos. Tuvimos is we had. How would you say we had it? Lo tuvimos. We had it at 2 o'clock. Lo tuvimos a las dos. We didn't have it. No lo tuvimos. Lastly, for they had, it would be tuvieron. Here we have that ieron sound. So tuvieron is they had when it's a dot in the past. How would you say they had it? Lo tuvieron. They didn't have it. No lo tuvieron. They didn't have it for him. No lo tuvieron para él. Let's run through it once more. How would you say I had as a dot in the past? Tuve. You had. Tuviste. He, she, or it had. Tuvo. We had. Tuvimos. They had. Tuvieron. Now, once again, remember that it's only when we're expressing very clearly something that is a dot in the past that we will use this particular tense. Most of the time, the good news is that you can relax and just use tenía for I had or I was having. 90% of the time, you'll use tenía, tenías, tenía, teníamos, and tenían. It's only in those specific circumstances where it really is clearly a dot in the past that we will use this tense that we just went through, where it was tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, and tuvieron.